Hey guys, it's been quite a while, but I finally have some time to spend on the M21. So this time around, I want to check that the dip switches are set up right and make sure this is nothing like a simple thing. Maybe they just ripped out some of the cards or whatever. I really doubt it because there is really no way to have had an expansion card or anything. So they should be fine, but we're gonna double check that, and if that is not the case, I will switch back this board here and call it a day because I'm getting, I need to fix it up. Also, it took me quite a while to get back on this because the whole place here flooded. So yeah, that wasn't fun, but it's also a lot hotter right now, so that's why the fan is running and these air circulator is running, so you're gonna hear some noises as well. But anyhow, let's get back on this board here. So I'm gonna find a manual or something, figure out a way to understand these deep switches, fiddle around. This is the current situation, which are really hard to tell actually on these ones. And yeah, let's get some work done. Aha! Would you believe it? I twiddled with the dip switches, and I think somebody just was following the guide but swapped them. It was on a configuration that wasn't even valid according to the manual, and now I set it to 128K, and so that, which is a little bit, but it works, and also the monitor works a lot better now. Probably because temperature has risen by a few degrees, so the capacitor is warmed up and it's now behaving as it should. Before it was just like all over the place. So that's also probably why I need to replace the capacitors on display. But now I'm gonna go over once again on every dip switch and configure it to what I feel is right. So with the amount of memory that we have in here and with the MPU, which was not set up to be enabled. So I'm gonna go over it once again, and hopefully we will get one step closer to how it should be. That's fantastic. So I guess the other board is also good. So I also know that, which is yeah, bonus. Okay, we're back right side up. Put also the cover back in and everything is buttoned up and screwed in. So of course now the board is gonna fail again and I would have to take everything apart one more time. Let's tackle the hard drive since we're here. Now this drive here is stuck, completely dead, wrong. So if you check out this, really fancy way of installing it, which is perfect for a portable because this thing is gonna flap around in the breeze like crazy. We're gonna leave it like that, gives it character. We have two choices. So I can steal the Miniscribe from the other M24, which was also paired to a West Digital controller, which means that it's probably gonna work just fine as it is, but it's, it's a Miniscribe, what would you expect? Or we can go even fancier with this Lexicon, which is also made in Italy. I'm tempted to try this one here. So we are going to very gently remove this. I think I have to remove the CRT shield and a few other screws and odds and ends to get better access, because I already cleaned up the cabling last time I've been here. And let's see what happens if I plug this one here in. Okay, so that was easier than expected. Just took out one screw, kind of slid it out and plugged the Lexicon in, hopefully the right side with all the connectors in the right way. Now I'm gonna keep it this side up, so if it's gonna explode, it's gonna be a bit of a show. Let's just turn it on. Nothing. Oh, this power supply is just knocking on heaven's door, isn't it? Ooh, it's making the right noises. We have beepage. Oh, it is. Did it initialize? Really? Ha! Are you kidding me? Configuration too large for memory. What is that? Huh. So, is that from the bootstrap of the disk? So it's like, is it bootstrapping from the disk and then giving this error because the bootstrapper there is just, I don't know what's on it. Or is it, did I get the dip switches wrong? Which I don't think, because it's got 384K. Because this one, oh, probably. I think I will need to pull this off. But since we're at it, why don't we try the Miniscribe, which was on this M24, which is configured for less RAM. So I'm sure that whatever it's installed, it's gonna definitely run on this one here. And see if we get the same error. So, but it is most likely due to the fact that what's on it is not compatible for the system. Let's swap them. Okay, so the Miniscribe is cabled in. This is a older drive, so it's server controlled, which means it's gonna be very loud. I don't know if the cables are the right side up. We will discover it. And nothing again. I do have to wonder if this is one of those with the tantalum capacitors. I cannot see them, but okay, we'll discover it. Nothing. Oh, this power supply again. What is wrong with you? Oh, come on. There we go. Nothing from the Miniscribe yet. Oh, it's blinking an error code, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's just not gonna start up, isn't it? Well, that was predictable, you know, Miniscribe. So either the motor is stuck or the so either the motor is stuck or the heads are glued to the platter, which is not very pleasant either way. But yeah, it's not gonna initialize, isn't it? So let's just turn it off again. It doesn't smell like burnt, so I don't think it's trying too hard. The cables here are super tight, but since we're here, might as well. I will pop the cover and see what kind of a mess hides inside of it. So since I don't want to deal with that, that's unplugged. Since I don't want to deal with that dying power supply, I picked one of the other ones that I had stored. It's very orange, and basically half of the weight of this machine is in dust, so that needs to be cleaned out really well. But I happen to have an extension cable for Molex one here, and I popped the lid on the Miniscribe, which it doesn't even look too bad, but I kind of turned it, and it does seem to turn. It does have a really heavy cogging, which I don't remember it being like that, but let's just turn it on. Still nothing. Does try. Come on. I don't remember if it's this way or the other way around, actually. I think it's this way because the filter is right there. Oh, there we go. Come on, you can do it. Nope. Yeah. Ooh, the noise, the heads. The cover decided to just. So I think it's still not happy. Something tells me it's still not happy, but I will let it run for a little bit. But you've heard some scratching, so most likely there is some debris or something that grew on the heads or on the platters, and that just deleted the heads. So I think we're done. I don't know what's up with that fan that just keeps turning off and on. I don't even know what kind of graphics card this is, actually. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. This also has like massive fans. That's why it's so full of dust. These fans are just moving. They're 100% all the time. Huh. But that's your problem. Let's just... Oh yeah, just turn it off by itself. Yeah, it's not a happy drive, isn't it? So I just turn it off. Okay. Let's turn on the system again. Oh, yeah, come on. You can do it. Need a little help? Can I help you? Come on. Yeah, that's very tired. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I think it. No. I think, yes, I think it did initialized. Because it's not blinking anymore. Huh. That's excellent. So maybe. Yeah, because it's sitting at 0. That's what this optocoupler is for. It's for knowing that we're at the track 0. And the thing has initialized. So I think what I will do now is I will let it run for like 5-10 minutes just to get it, wake up again. I'm gonna put the cover back on and mount it in the M21. Which, by the time it gets there, it's probably gonna die again. But, we're at it. Might as well go for it. Alright, so the Miniscribe is back on the machine. How's the power supply gonna do today? This needs fixing, doesn't it? Okay, that's starting up. Initialized. Quickly, very quickly. Suspiciously quickly. It's already ready. Press. Huh. ROM basic not available. Press reset to reboot. So it's a different message. Not the message I was expecting. Also, I noticed that there's a floppy disk in here. So, what if... what are the odds that this is a DOS boot disk? That would be surprisingly nice. So, Control Alt. Where's the delete key on this thing? Here it is, probably. Nope. Is there another one? Because num lock is off. No, I think I really need to reset it. Okay, fine. So memory says now 256. Before it was saying 128, so I probably reset it again. CPU DMA doesn't test the coprocessor, but let's pretend it's there. This disk, is it still spinning? Yes, the glue here is just yuck. It's a mess. But no, now it says boot failure, but I don't think it's even trying. Or is it? No. Okay, let's just turn it off and on again. Oh, power supply is waking up, I guess. That's good. 256, that's pretty good as well. Disk boot failure. Okay, so this drive just self-destroyed, which is, again, totally what I was expecting from a Miniscribe. It's kind of sad, because maybe there was something interesting on this machine that we could have recovered, but I highly doubt it, and this was already a parts bin, so maybe this disk here was already bad. I can also see it's, professionally installed. Yeah, very professional. So what I'm going to do, I don't have boot disks here with me. Oh, actually, I'm an idiot, because I had this floppy drive in. Let me just actually, because it tried booting from that thing, it says this boot failure, but if I now do Control Alt Delete, this thing will reset and we'll try booting from the Miniscribe again, right? I didn't even blink. Okay, that's mystery. As I was saying, I don't have 720k boot disks here, and I've not even 144. I may have the tools to make it, but I don't really want to bother today. We've went a really long far way forward with this, because now the machine starts up, and works as it should, so I'm really happy with that. I think for today we've done enough. I will probably come back again one more time with boot disks, or think about a machine where I can steal it from, and maybe make a third part. I don't know. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time. Bye.